Hey, hi guys, Warren here. How are you guys doing out there? Today I want to talk about anonymity, and specifically as it relates to a platform such as YouTube, such as this platform and others like it. And the reason I brought it up is because I subscribe to a YouTuber that does really good stuff, and he posted just a message the other day of why he started the channel and why he stays anonymous. And I'll get around to the privacy reasons for obvious reasons. But he mentions staying anonymous basically just because. No background, and I took a little issue with that because now I'm starting to question, and he mentioned the fact that he wasn't AI also, and now I'm starting to question if his face is genuine. And I think I have a legitimate concern. I would love to know what you think, but I mean, and look, don't get me wrong, being anonymous doesn't automatically make you dishonest. I'm not saying that, but it does change the relationship, I think. I mean, eventually even online relationships, dating relationships, or platonic ones, eventually meet, be that disastrous or amicable, and I'll circle back to that too. But I mean, I think trust is harder to build when the speaker has nothing to lose. And I give you an example of what I mean by that. Whistleblowers, right? They have a lot at stake. Their jobs, their reputations, even if what they are exposing is the truth. Their lives will never be the same, and they're taking a stand on something much more impactful than espousing episodes on YouTube. I mean, we have to be honest brokers. But I think trust is harder to build. When the speaker has nothing to lose. And I don't think I have to sell that. I mean, just look around you on YouTube and in social media on the whole. It's easier to speak boldly, I think, when no one knows who you are. And showing your face isn't about ego either, because there is the flip side of that, where there are a lot of channels where those creators are all about their egos. But I think it's being willing to be seen. We should be willing to be seen, I think, if we're asking you to listen and to watch. I don't know. I think when we're visible, our word carries more weight because our heads are attached to a human. And again, I don't know if this creator, I have this inkling that he's real, because there's some nuances in his pitch and his delivery that I don't think AI can capture. So I believe he's real. It concerns me that and I think some people think that because they're trying to get over being vulnerable, they have to overshare. I don't think so. I don't think vulnerability is oversharing. We don't owe the internet our address. I mean, I don't owe you tea. I don't owe you my family. Or my private life to some extent. I don't. Right? There won't be any one-on-one unless I run into someone who subscribes and watches the channel randomly on the street. But I do think we owe some honesty if we want credibility. And I think that honesty comes from just some struggles, right? Sharing some struggles, some scars, some context. Not details. I don't want the details because, like I said earlier, that I would circle back to privacy. There are just certain things that should not be shared on this platform and with everyone. But I think I want to know what you've been through. And like I said, your scars, the scars that you're carrying like the rest of us, right? I don't want the details, but I think we're owed some credibility so that we'll come across a little bit more honest. I mean, privacy is healthy. There is no doubt about that. Privacy is healthy. But then disappearing behind a mask while asking to be trusted is something else. And I think why this matters, at least to me, so much is because we live in a time of faceless certainty, right? There's a lot of know-it-alls and experts, and AI is powerful. It is powerful, but again, like I said earlier, I think we can see through the dark triads and the nuances that AI just doesn't capture, right? But we live in a time of a whole lot of faceless certainty and a whole lot of strong opinions at no personal cost, unlike the whistleblowers, right? The whistleblower example. But we do. Strong opinions, no personal cost, just espousing what a lot of people think are their truisms, their truths. Authority without accountability. And then you say, so what makes you any different there, young fella? Context, scars, background. And if you're not a subscriber, it's a perfect time for a shameful plug and a segue into asking you to do so, just so that you can see and hear the other episodes that I think proves that I am all human. but I think, and I don't want to sound accusatory at all. Someone's coming to share the beach. I think they might turn around though. I don't mean to sound accusatory, but And I don't need you to agree with me. I just need to know who I'm talking to. But yeah, the guy is good. He's good. He touches on some really important topics, and his delivery is really good. But that post about remaining in complete anonymity, I think I think we owe the people who listen and view more than that, I think. Because showing up as ourselves doesn't necessarily make us right. As a matter of fact, it doesn't make us right. I would add that in addition to trusting us, me, with what I've shared with you and expressed with you, to do your own research depending on the topic, because I can be wrong. I try not to be. I try to do my research, especially on very hot button topics and things that, get people fired up. But yeah, showing myself doesn't make me right. Just makes me real. At least I think so. And being real is easier to trust. But again, would love to hear your comments on anonymity, because it matters. Privacy, like I said, matters, but anonymity versus trust. Delicate dance, fine line to walk, I admit, but just think about that line I used earlier. It's so much easier to speak boldly when no one knows who you are. And that's both powerful and scary at the same time. Because there are a lot of, I call them non-talking head videos that do really well on YouTube. And again, the content is good. I've watched a few of them. Who are you? Better yet, what are you? Because some of those it's just a dead giveaway. The voices, everything, you can just tell it's AI generated. But I mean, I want context. I want your scars. Because I think maybe that's not what Google and YouTube intended when this platform was first thought about. In its deepest form, community, building communities. I'm sure someone in the room did, but that's what it's become. It's become this monstrosity of a way to share both lies and truths. And we just have to be careful of how much and which one we indulge in, and do our due diligence so we don't fall victim to that which are the lies. But I think hiding ourselves from our viewers changes the relationship. And I don't want that. I want to be able to interact with boundaries. But not be a ghost. All right, so let me know what you think. That's all I had on my mind for today. That's all I wanted to talk about. And until our next conversation, you be good out there. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk again soon. I'll see you. You can stay as long as you want.